We're out here today on Lake of the Ozarks. Getting ready to go after some largemouth. Starting out here on a Min Lake hump, rock pile. Got a lot of fish on my graph. The target of today's episode is going to be to show you guys some summer patterns out here on Lake of the Ozarks. How you catch fish during dog days of summer, and how to find them. More importantly, how do you find the fish during this time of year? Because they seem like they disappear from some areas completely. It can be very tricky to figure out patterns when you're struggling to get a bite and fish are lethargic and they're sitting on the bottom, or they just get a case of what they call lockjaw. So we're going to try to cure the dog day blues of fishing during the summertime here today for you. Stay tuned. Ooh, did you see that bass? I hope the camera caught that. Bass just came up and hit something on the surface. Right? Oh my gosh, they're right there. Yep, I see them. Just reel it up top. They're active out here chasing fish then. One of the patterns during summertime on these reservoir lakes like Lake of the Ozarks, where they have a dam set up, is that during the middle of the day, a lot of those dams will generate some power. They'll be running a little bit of current through their turbines to get some electricity going for all the AC units to come on in the middle of the day. When it's during that time, a little bit of current gets generated. The fish will come out here. They get a little bit more active on some of these main lake humps, main lake points, and the bait fish get schooled up out here in that current. It just becomes a big feeding area for them. You can target those kind of fish. I prefer to target those kind of fish with deep diving crankbaits, the topwater baits in the early morning and evening when fish are up more active in the water column. They're a little bit higher up during the low light hours, like always. Or you can target them with big 10-inch worms down on the bottom. Okay, guys. Saw some fish jumping out there. I didn't catch anything. I don't know what the deal is right now. I'm fishing with a 10-inch plastic worm and some brush piles up shallower right now. It's another summer pattern. The fish get up shallow behind docks, under dock shade. They get up inside the shade and the brush piles. You get a lot of bluegill and shad this time of year. If you have electronics, you can always use side imaging. If you have that, help you find that. If you don't have electronics, though, the best way to really locate brush is by going out during the winter time or looking up Google images during the winter time of that area when they draw the lake down. You can see a lot of the shallower brush piles that are sitting up on the ground, or they're just poking up out of the water. Some of them are visible from satellite. But coming in here and flipping these worms, I like to let it go down to the bottom. Just slack line. You don't have any tension on it then. Let it sit there for a second. You pull it up over logs and brush piles, let it fall back down, and just kind of weave it through the brush pile. Make it set in there for a little bit. I like to give it at least 4 or 5 seconds between times I'm moving it and just letting it sit there, because it will fall if you don't have it unpegged. If you have it unpegged, the worm and the weight will oftentimes separate, and it might take just a little bit for that bait to actually get down there. So here's what I do to rig up a Texas rig. You get your bullet weight on. Above your hook, you put this on, pointed side up. Tie a knot. I like to use a clinch knot. Tie onto a 5/0 hook. And I don't like to use the thicker wire hooks. I like to use the thinner ones. They're just easier to drive into the bass's mouth. It's like same thing with the nail. It's easier to drive a small little point in to something than it is to jab a wider. So get better hook sets when you're like that. And I thread in the worm. I don't know if you saw that. Thread the worm in through the top, come out the bottom, about up to where this hook point is. So I go the length of this, the straight part off the hook, the 5/0, thread it all the way up here to where your line is, and it'll set right there. Then you're going to take the back part of your worm, figure out where that hook's going to line up into your bait. So you're going to have your top part here that we threaded through here. Pinch up the worm a little bit, drive it straight through. And then to make it completely weedless, so this point right here isn't sitting out there, it can grab some branches still. I pull this up and fly it back, so now it's completely submerged. The only way it's going to pop free is if a fish bites it right there, then it's out. A little tip for you guys when fishing in Texas or any kind of bottom bait like a jig. Keep your thumb on your line. You'll be able to feel the vibrations of your bait hitting the bottom when you're dragging it across rocks through the brush pile, and strikes as well. For these fish, during the middle of the day, I'm looking for brush piles or any kind of shade that they could be located up under. Most of the time they're going to be stuck up underneath some sort of cover that's providing them some shade, and they're going to be just nestled down there, on up in the brush, or they're going to be laying down on the bottom, right underneath it. So I like to find deep water where it's a little bit cooler. You have some shade for them. There's bait fish around, areas that they'd be hunting during the night when they come out to feed, and in the early morning and stuff. That's not too far away from them. So there's a cove just around the corner back that way, and I got this brush pile. It's a fallen tree really, stuck out here. Big sycamore fell in. That was a bite. Thought it was a bolt weight got stuck between a crack in the rock, because as soon as I went to go move it, it was solid. These fish are very fast to pick up this worm sometimes. If you land it very close to where they're laying at, they'll hit it on the fall. My line didn't do anything crazy to me right there though, so I didn't know. Fishing pretty shallow. There he is. Right on. First one of the day on 10-inch worm. I didn't even move it. He had it there again the second time. It's not that big of a fish, but I should also give you guys some encouragement to be throwing these bigger baits, a 10-inch worm, because these little fish like this will even still take it, and this is about a 12-inch bass, so it's a little spotted bass actually. So that's just right up here off the main channel, right before you come into a cove. There's a sunken tree. Perfect prime time, classic pattern for bass on Lake of the Ozarks this time of year. Let them go. Oh, missed one. As soon as it hit again. Here to the cove. I was just outside of it, caught that one spotted bass, and just cut back here in the cove. I'm only in about 4 or 5 docks. I'm looking for dense shade under docks, where there are brush piles, any kind of tight spaces. I think I see some brush that's actually up here in this well. I got a fish. Oh, look at there. Helps to have a 20-pound test line when you're trying to go through docks like that. Again, not that big, but we're on a pattern. Right there. See the gar? Hope you guys can. Wow. Trying to fish a deeper water brush pile again. I'm fishing 19 feet of water. Camera off at a bad time. I got a bite right there. Oh, came off. He took my worm and everything. There's a bite. Didn't get it. Took my tail. I keep moving back here, expecting the water temperature to get warmer, and it isn't, so bass might be back up in here. This tree that's in the water here has been here for the last 4 years and it's still alive. Just laid over like that. The roots are still in the bank over there. Didn't kill it. Oh, that was bass. Came up and got that one. I don't know if he saw him or not. Let's see if he comes back for it. Not on that pass. Oh, that's a bite. Ooh, big follow. Ooh, there he is. Oh, missed him again. Little one. There's a big one, then the little one came up and took it. Oh! I hope this GoPro's picking this stuff up. All the short strikes I'm getting right now is ridiculous. Here's the school in back here. Over here at the dock. Got the boat back up. Still got a bite. Let go. Come back to it. Oh, that's a bite. Yep. Oh, didn't have it. Grab the tail. Oh, came off again. There we go. Fish on. Stuck up in the brush pile. Oh, come off again. Good Lord. No bite. Fish on. There it is. Fish came right out of the, okay, self-release. Came right out of that brush pile right there. Put a brush pile up underneath the walkway a couple years ago. Just caught out of the last branch, the deepest part of it. Watching today's episode, hit that thumbs up down below if you like this video, and subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss any more videos like this one. Leave a comment down below for what you guys like to see next too, because I want to know what you guys are interested in watching. So thank you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.